A very good afternoon to you and welcome to today's webcast, Next Level Financial Reporting in Business Central, Unlocking Power BI for CFOs and Finance Teams with our partners at eNotion. Today we're going to be talking about mastering data-driven insights with our partners and how their solution, their Power BI solution, can help businesses like yours make smarter financial decisions with state-of-the-art financial reporting. Beyond what we'll be discussing today, the pain points that holiday parks and marinas are facing when it comes to understanding the financials and the wider impact that not having that information can have. Joining me today on the webcast, we have our very own subject matter expert from Elite Dynamics. We've got Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm wonderful. And joining us from eNotion, we've got Dejan and Michael, who will be showcasing their solution in just a short while. Dejan and Michael, how are we both doing today?
Fantastic, thank you. Really looking forward to this.
I'm so glad to have you all here. Really excited to see the solution and how it can really benefit parks and marinas, especially for us, but just finance people in general. So it's great to have everybody here with us today. Before we get into the webcast fully, at the top of your Teams call today, you will have a little Q&A button there. You can submit all your questions there for the team, and we'll pick them up at the very end of the webcast. You'll also have the option, if you're feeling fancy, is you can actually join us on the webcast live, ask your question to the team as well. And to do that, all you need to do is just raise your hand at the end when we get there. Please remember, though, that the webcast is being recorded, and by participating live, you are consenting it to your audio and your video being used. So just be aware of that for us. So just to give you a quick overview of what to expect from us today, we're going to be discussing those challenges faced internationally by parks and marina industries before having a look at how that eNotion platform we're going to have a look at the eNotion platform, and then we're going to be finishing off with our Q&A at the end. So Lisa, I'm going to come to you first. You work really closely with both sides of our industry, where we work for marinas and holiday parks. So from your experience, what do you think are the biggest sort of pain points that are being faced when it comes to them understanding their financial situations?
Yeah, so I mean, the biggest challenges that we see sort of time and time again is the real-time visibility. So many finance teams rely on maybe outdated, very manual data consolidation, meaning that the numbers they see at that once the report's been completed, they're already sort of out of date. So it makes it hard to track, to control costs, to make quick decisions, especially in an industry that is quite fast moving and it does have that seasonal fluctuation.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge issue. And I imagine forecasting then is another. If we can't see what's happening now, how are we meant to forecast for the future?
Yeah, absolutely. Both holiday parks and marinas have revenue streams coming from lots of different areas. You've got accommodation, food and beverage, activities, memberships, berth holders, visitor moorings, like you name it. It's usually in that industry. And if they aren't consolidated properly, forecasting cash flow and profitability becomes like almost impossible. It's very, very difficult. So without accurate without accurate insights, businesses risk overcommitting themselves basically and underestimating.
Yes, and that doesn't end well for anybody. But on top of that, we'll be looking at compliance, reporting obligations, all that sort of stuff. Real headache for businesses if they're not understanding finance. And finance, funnily enough, it's international. It goes across every industry. It's probably one of the areas I think where we can unify and go, yes, finance is the same. So we're all experiencing the same issues, no matter what sort of industry you're sitting in, Lisa.
Yeah, compliance is a key challenge. I'm sure everybody would agree that, whether it's your VAT reporting or auditing requirements, financial controls, everybody needs to produce accurate reports quickly, and there's a lot relying on them as well. And, you know, your finance teams, I mean, many people on this call will probably have had spent hours compiling these reports, probably days sometimes as well, manually pulling all this data from areas of maybe multiple systems, which is just, it's very, very difficult.
Perfect. That brings us nicely, I guess, round to the solution. So I'm going to bring in Dejan and Michael from eNotion. So, guys, do you want to just tell us a little bit about eNotion and how it helps holiday parks, marinas, and any business sort of overcome these financial challenges that we're all facing?
Yeah, absolutely. Love to. Well, look, Business Central Insights, which is the product that eNotion has built, really simplifies everything by automating financial reporting within Business Central for holiday parks, marinas, or any other type of business that you may have. But it provides a real-time dashboards, instant access to key financial metrics, the ability to drill down into those detailed reports, really important there, like what's underneath that data. Really simple to do is just click in, go in, dive deeper into it. And then instead of relying on static spreadsheets, finance teams can really see exactly where their business stands at any moment in time. And that's so important.
Fantastic. I think in a nutshell, that's definitely what he's providing. And I guess outside of finance, this is obviously going to impact finance heavily, but outside of finance, where there might be a lack of understanding and digesting complex spreadsheets, I always hands up, I'm not financially astute, I think is the word. So I guess this is going to really help the wider team sort of see what's going on. Can you give us like an example of a report or a feature that finance teams would find particularly useful?
Yeah, sure. And do remember that these reports are just easy for anyone within the business to use, whether that be the finance team or any business professional, right? But a really great example that would be really relevant to the finance team would be the profitability report by department or by revenue stream. Instead of waiting till the end of the month, to see where the profit is coming from, finance teams can just view the data live on accommodation revenue, on-site spend, operational costs, all in one place, slice and dice, really, really easy to do that in real time. And this means that they can then adjust their pricing, their staffing, their marketing spend, all in real time to maximize profitability.
And that's all we want for a business, is to be making as much profit as possible. That's really powerful stuff. And I know we're going to be looking in a live demo very, very shortly. We're going to have a look at the solution in whole. Can you give us a quick teaser of what we should be looking out for, what to expect from the solution?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, in the demo, we're going to walk through Business Central Insights, high level, but showing you how easy it is to generate financial reports in seconds, really. Customized dashboards, so how easy it is to do that for different team members, really important. Different people are going to have different needs, and like you're going to want to be able to customize those really to give them the insights that they need. And then and again in real time, drill into the data, just allowing you to then kind of make informed business decisions from that data itself, like what's underlying it. So look, if you've ever struggled, and many of the people we speak to certainly have, they struggle with slow, complicated reporting, manual processes, spending days, weeks, months building things in Excel, then this is going to be great for you because you're going to just see really quickly how much time you're going to save.
Fantastic. I'm excited. So let's have a little look at what we're going to be walking through in the demo today. We've got a little bit of an agenda of what all the different things that we're going to see whilst we are exploring. There we go. So in the webcast, we're going to be looking at effortlessly creating the P&L, those balance sheet reports, and how to analyze that financial data, and by dimension as well. Really, really important that we're getting the right information through on the reports and getting all those KPIs for our CFOs. I wonder, just try and see if our CFO is here today to see if he's going to be monitoring that ourselves. We'll show you how to build and visualize those accurate cash flow forecasts and how to actually create compelling financial reports with Power BI and Excel. So lots to look forward to. Really, really excited to see it. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to be quiet now and we can take a look at the solution for us now. Let's take a look.
Hi everyone, thank you so much again for joining this webinar. I will present and demo some of our financial reports, but just before I do that, I'll just like to reiterate how easy it is to download and install our apps. It takes approximately 10 to 20 minutes to get up and running. We have the installation instructions available on our website. So you would simply select Help and Support, Installation for Cloud Business Central, and there will be 5 simple steps on how to basically download and install the apps. So the first step would be to install the connector app, start 30-day trial, install Power BI app, connect data, and then share apps with other users. Like I mentioned, the whole process will take 10 to 15 minutes. And of course, we can help with that. So if you need help with a setup, you can always book a call with us. Just select book a support call here on our website. Now, we're offering financial apps, but we also have other apps for Business Central, such as sales. We have strong inventory reports, purchasing, and then also jobs, which are projects, service and service management module, and manufacturing. So if you're interested in any other reports, feel free to try and test them out as well. Now, in this webinar, I will go through some of the financial reports, and I'll do a quick demo, 10-20 minutes, to showcase some of those reports. Now, the finance app is the only app that requires some additional setup. In Business Central, you would need to configure GL account categories. Now, this is something that most of you would already have configured. We only added 2 extra columns, account subcategories for Power BI, and you will just need to simply map those categories with yours, which can take 5 minutes to do. Just simply go through the list and map those account categories. We have instruction on our website, and we can send that to you as well. Now, that means that you can fully control, which GL accounts are included in which categories, how you structure your categories so that your financial statements and reports would look exactly how you will configure this here in this setup. Now let's open our Finance Insights app. So when we open it, you see on the left there is a menu when you can choose different fiscal year, and you can switch between different companies. Those are Business Central companies. I will start with the P&L statement. The P&L statement in our report is actually configurable, which means that if I drill up here, I will see the top level categories, which will be revenue and then cost of goods sold, gross profit, and EBITDA, EBIT, and so on, and net profit. And this setup is in Business Central Connector. So our Connector app has the P&L statement categories here, and which means that you can rename those categories, you can move them up, down, and even hide some of them that are not relevant. So that means, which simply means that you can personalize the P&L statement based on your special reporting requirements. See, when I drill down, I will see all the account categories under that. And if I drill down again, I would see the actual GL accounts that belong to each category. I can even choose to show or hide some of those columns, which would be in the select measures. So maybe budgets are not relevant. I can simply hide them for now. And you see the column will disappear. And I can add extra columns, which would be, some of them are hidden by default. So on the right side, there will be a filter called Show More, where you can select Show More True and show some additional columns or measures, right? So you can show forecast or budget. Maybe you want to show percentage of total budget revenue, and this column will be then added to the end in this table, right? So you see it's a fully customizable, configurable P&L statement. Now, of course, your P&L can be viewed by different time periods. So you can view it by month, by week, by year, or by accounting period. So in this case, there's a week, so I have week by week P&L statement report. You can also view it by any dimension. So dimension, in our case, could be park or marina. industry, department, salesperson, and then you would simply see your P&L by each of those dimensions or entities, right? So you can have a nice P&L by any dimension in the same P&L structure. Or by company. So if you have multiple Business Central companies, you can simply view the P&L by company and have the total consolidated data at the end. If you use different currencies, we would show it later. We also offer additional reporting currency, which is ACY, or reporting currency, which is built in our connector app, which we will demonstrate a little bit later. Now, what you see in this report is that all our apps are multi-company, which means that this report is then possible, consolidated across multiple companies. You would find the company filter on every report page, where you can simply switch between companies to show data for different companies here. And in the connector app, you can control which companies, which Business Central companies you would like to enable and import into Power BI. So you can just import those that are relevant. You can even create company groups. So if you want to report by different groups of companies together, you can do that as well. Now, to analyze different reporting scenarios, we created a special type of reports. We call them cubes. Now, cubes are available in every app. So in sales, we have sales cube. In inventory, we have inventory cubes, and so on. And the idea of those reports is that you can choose any row, any column, any metric, and create any kind of report views from one report alone. It's like a pivot table available in Excel, in Power BI. Now, the great thing is that you can select multiple rows or multiple columns or multiple measures. So in our case, what we have here is park, marina. This is dimension 1. So I chose this one. So now we have data, net change, income by park or marina, and also the statistical accounts, because our apps support also statistical accounts. Now, if I want to view it, let's say I want to remove statistical account, I can simply select that, and all it will remain is net change. To add more than one measures or columns, I can do that using the control key. So have net change, and then if I want to add previous year net change or income, I'll just press control key, net change, and then the measure will be added. Here's now for each month, I have current and previous year month revenue. If I want to show, let's say for each park, marina, I want to show, let's say, general business posting group, I can again click on control key, select general business posting group, and then drill down and see the breakdown by, let's say, domestic or export and so on. So you can choose any basically field that is relevant here and show data in any way you want. And of course, once you create the view, you can save it as a bookmark. So that means that next time you don't need to repeat those selections again, right? So let's say we want to show local currency, and let's add additional reporting currency next to it. So we have revenue in, let's say, Australian dollars and US dollars or something like that. Now, sometimes we have additional multi-currency requirements where maybe additional ACY wouldn't be sufficient. And that's why we added to our reports GL by currency. We added new reporting currencies. So, and those are configured in the connector app. So when I open the connector app and choose setup per company, there is a reporting currencies section here where I can choose for, right now we have sales finance, but in the next version, we would also add receivables and payables and other apps as well. So you'll be able to do multi-currency consolidation in all our apps. You would, and for now we have 2 reporting currencies. Of course, we can add more. So our local currency in this company is Australian dollar. We have reporting currency 1, let's say US dollars, and reporting currency 2, Great Britain pound. So when I open the report GL by currency and I choose LCY and RCY, which is reporting currency, now I see data for each company by reporting currency 1, which is US dollars, for example, and then the total at the end in US dollars. Now, what is great about this report that I can choose different exchange rate calculation method. So, for example, I can choose historical rate, which would mean that exchange rate is calculated day by day at the posting date when basically each transaction was posted. We can calculate monthly average, so it will take exchange rates across the whole month, divide by number of days, and we'll find the actually average monthly exchange rate. We can look at the month end rate or the latest spot rate, meaning that today's exchange rate. So if we want to convert, in this case, income into today's value, right, in the latest spot rate. So this is the multi-currency feature that we added recently to our apps. Next, I would like to show you the report where you could analyze the most commonly used KPIs and metrics. We call it essential CFO KPIs and metrics. And the report is also quite generic in a way that on the left side, you will have list of different KPIs or different financial ratios. You can simply switch between those. So let's say we want to analyze asset turnover, and as a select rows, we see month year. So we see asset turnover month by month. And on the right side, you have a nice chart as well showing you the movement of the asset turnover each month and the trend, right? Now, this question mark here is also quite important because here it will give you the short description of the ratio, including the formula, how it's calculated. So you can double check, and all the fields in the formula would be added here in this table, are added to the table as well. So let's say asset turnover is calculated as income multiplied by 365 days, right, divided by asset balance. So we have daily income multiplied by 365 divided by asset daily average. And that's why we added here income daily average, right? And then income as a current filter, current fiscal year, and then also asset balance daily average. So you can calculate exactly how this is, you can double check exactly how this ratio is calculated. And those charts will also show each part of the equation here. So you have income daily average, you see how daily income changed month by month, and also the asset balance actually was just growing every month, and that affected the actual asset turnover calculation. And this, you will have this for all the ratios, and you can even choose the calculation method. So daily average will be the most precise because it will look at the day by day. Basically, it will take the daily average also when it comes to balances. So asset balance daily average would meaning it will look at the daily balance and then divide by number of days. It will calculate the daily balance, which is, like I said, the most precise way of calculating. But you can also select last 12 months or last 3 months to calculate those ratios. For example, you can view ratio by any dimension as well. So here you can select park marina dimension, right? Or industry or department. And then you would see all those ratios for each park or for each marina in here, right? And you could even drill through to see more details, and basically, if you want to know, okay, we have for Bay Marina, we have income 2.8 million. You can right click and drill through and show, for example, income statement GL entries, which should be filtered by income, and you see the total is 2.8 million here. So the drill through also works to double check the numbers and how they're calculated. Yeah. Now, what I'd also like to demonstrate to you in the finance app is how you could easily analyze this data in Excel. So sometimes, having all the data available in Power BI at your fingertips is great, but sometimes you want to do some calculations in Excel, have data there to create some custom formulas and so on, some ad hoc reports. Now, the best way to do it is simply selecting here, Export Analyze in Excel. What will happen in this case? Basically, Power BI will connect to Excel, and you would see it in Excel as a pivot table. And now you can create reports here by simply drag and drop data. So for example, if we want to see, let's say, our balance sheet or income statement by month, you would just choose the right measures. So let's say we want to select net change, and then we want to view it by, let's say, account categories. So you have the same structure as we have in our GL account categories, the setup that I showed at the beginning of the webinar. Let's choose level 1, level 2, and also let's select GL account number and name as a third level in this hierarchy. You see, and now we already have a nice structure. And let's say we just simply want to view this by month. So we will just find a date table, which should be somewhere here, and just a second, date table, and then we have month, year. We will drag and drop in the columns. And you see in 1-2 seconds, we have a report ready. Now, the great thing about this is that, like I mentioned before, this Excel file is connected to Power BI, which means that you can save this Excel, even share with other users. And when you open it next time, you would just select data, refresh, and this would update numbers with the latest numbers available in Power BI. So it's a great way to create report only once and then have it in Excel and have up-to-date data, live data available in Excel. Now, part of the financial bundle, we also have receivables, payables, and cash flow apps. So not only finance, but we have 4 apps. And let me quickly overview those as well. So we have receivables, where you could analyze, of course, your customers and key metrics around that. You would see, of course, your balances before due, overdue, on the map, see where the customers are by country, and which customers own the most money, and so on. Now, in the table, you would find different receivables metrics and ratios. So you could see quickly average invoice, let's say overview days, how many open invoices are for each customer, how many days it takes on average to close the invoice, days of aging, in general, percentage of invoices closed before due. And you can see this data by customer or by any dimension or by month and so on. So you can choose here the same way as in other reports. You can choose how you want to view this, right? By bill to, by sell to customer, maybe by salesperson. And you can see how are the salesperson doing, and which customers they have. So now for each salesperson, I can show list of their customers. I can drill down and see which customers are assigned to each salesperson and what are their opening balances, for example, and what are their statistics. Now there is also a report before due, overdue, when you will have different aging buckets. You can quickly see what's due tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and so on. And with all the additional information like document number, external document number, days left before, and so on. And you can also click on let's say this document, and this will open the invoice in Business Central. So we also support that. Click, basically link back to Business Central, so you can drill and then basically open the document and see all the details about this invoice in Business Central. So this is a really quick overview. We could do a dedicated session just for receivables. There's lots of reports there. We could analyze it more in depth, but now we have limited time. So what I will show you is our cash flow insights as a last report. Basically, this report is basically built on top of functionality in Business Central called cash flow forecasts. So this is something that you can create multiple basically forecasts in Business Central and different scenarios, and you can include different forecast types and areas that you want to include. There's some setup related to that, such as cash flow, let's say payment terms and those sort of things. There are online tutorials on how to do that. We can also help you with that. And let's say once you created the forecast in Business Central, then you could analyze it in Power BI with nice graphs and charts and tables, and see your projections in here. Now this app also has a bank account details, so basically bank ledger entries, where you would see your balances and then cash in out day by day and so on. You can analyze your bank transactions as well, besides the cash flow forecast. Right. So this concludes my demo, my presentation. And again, thank you so much for joining, and hope we will talk soon. And again, feel free to book a call with us anytime through this link. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed. That was a really, really insightful demo. Thank you for sharing that with us. Just don't forget, if you do want to participate, want any questions that you want answered, you can certainly do that using the Q&A functionality at the very top of your Teams call. Or if you want to join us on the webcast live, you can just pop your hand up on there as well, and we'll bring you on. Just remember that by joining, we are consenting to being recorded, both your audio and your video. So now we've seen it in action, Lisa, for our existing customer base, or perhaps those that are looking at elite parks or elite marinas, what would you say is the biggest immediate benefit they're going to see after implementation?
Okay, well, first of all, that was a really good demo, really insightful, and I could see loads of benefits actually. But as I said before, the most immediate benefit is the time that it will save.
Mm-hmm.
That will be the big benefit. So automating the manual reporting and reducing the hours spent together with from multiple sources, pulling in that data, from the multiple sources. I think that's the biggest time saver that you'll see there. Yeah.
Fantastic. It's all about time. That's what we want to do. We want to save on the
All
resources
about the
and we want to
time.
keep moving. Absolutely. Spend too much time pulling reports together when we can just, there they are, ready to rock. So Dejan and Michael, for finance teams that are looking to get started with Business Central Insights, what does the onboarding process look like? And how quickly would teams expect to start seeing these results that we're talking about with time and all that sort of stuff?
Well, the short answer is super quick. So yeah, no, it's really, really easy. The on process is designed to be quick and straightforward. I mean, even a non-technical person can do it very straightforward. A non-finance person can do it. I'm certainly not a finance person, and I've done it. So look, it's designed to be really easy. We typically start with a customized demo and consultation. So we'll sit down with you in a meeting. We'll ask you about your setup, the challenges you have with the existing reporting, just to understand your unique needs, and then we can really tailor a demo to that. Then after that, look, really, then it's just working with the implementation team on your side, whoever owns Business Central internally. Just would work with the finance team to just ensure that the system is set up properly for your specific workflows. With most businesses, we can have Business Central Insights up and running in 15-30 minutes.
Wow.
As mentioned earlier on, that quick, right? I think the only bit that takes a little bit longer is the setup of the GL accounts. Most companies have already done that, but like worst case, that might take you an hour to set up, and look, there's plenty of other benefits for you to actually do that anyway. But look, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, depending on your setup, it's really super quick, and then you've got all these reports ready out of the box, ready to go. Maybe you need a little bit more tweaking with it, but we can help you with that, right? But look, the moment that Business Central Insights is live, your finance teams can see immediate results, particularly in terms of the automated reports, real-time data access, and just the enhanced visibility, right? That you get into financial performance. Really, does it need training? No, actually, I find it really intuitive. Maybe some people just not quite sure what report they need. A little bit of exploration into the platform will help with that. But certainly we're here. If you want some training, we give that for free as part of the cost. So you just book a call with us. Most people are up and running and really comfortable with the reports by the end of their first month, let's say, and they're fully up to speed and benefiting from streamlined reporting.
Fantastic. That sounds really good. Set up in 15 minutes, ready to go. That's what we like. We've got a question here from one of the team one of the people that have come along today. They just want to know what the license implications are. Are they going to need a Power BI license as well?
Yeah, no. So you will need a Power BI license as well. You only need the basic one unless you have oodles of data. So it's just the basic Power BI license that you'll need. It's super cheap, really easy to get, and as most of you all know, right? So yeah, that's kind of the minimal thing, I guess, the small part of it.
Fantastic. That's just a little license and you're off. Love it. Fantastic. That's the only question that we've got today for the moment. However, if you do want to continue that converse, hold on.
Oh, one more.
There's one coming in the chat.
Just trying to see that. 1 second. Is the Analyze in Excel function already implemented, or is this something which will come with an update? For now, I'm not able to use it. I mean, it should be working. Dan, do you have any idea? Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a part of every app. It's a standard functionality. So if you're not able to use it, must be something with permissions. So we have I think we have some troubleshooting article on our website on what permissions to check, or you can simply send us an email or reach out to us, and I'll send that information.
Yeah, or I mean, your admin may be able to help with that if you haven't got permission. Obviously, Business Central Insights comes with enterprise grade protection in it, right? So things like row level security, but absolutely, you can lock down Excel export. It's quite important for quite a lot of firms. So yeah.
So technically, what it means that you need to have, I think, build permission on your semantic model. Usually admins will have that. So, someone who's admin would be able to analyze in Excel, but someone who's just a viewer, let's say, who can just view data, would need this extra permission on the semantic model. Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. So if you do want to get that conversation started there with the guys at eNotion and Business Central Insights, we're going to drop a link into the chat for you very shortly, so you'll be able to just book a meeting directly with them. Or alternatively, if you're one of our customers and you want an intro, you can do that through your account manager. We're just going to squeeze one more question in while it's there. Can you produce consolidated reporting from multiple companies in Business Central?
Yes, not only that, also from multiple environments. So in a way, if companies have, let's say, subsidiaries all over the world, and they have multiple Business Central environments with different localizations, let's say in the US, in Germany, in Australia, and so on, they can actually connect our Power BI to all those environments and create consolidated report, not just across companies, but across the whole group. And we added also consolidated reporting currencies. So it means they can also report in one currency the whole data. So that's something that's quite important for bigger companies who have multiple, let's say, locations. Yeah.
Fantastic.
There's another question there, about Power BI license. I think we answered this one already.
We have, yeah. We do have one more question here for you.
I think it was about the refresh, because I think Dan, remind me, which license type you didn't need to of Power BI to do more refreshes in a day? They're asking for a refresh in, go on.
Yeah, so with the basic license, which is Power BI Pro license, you can refresh your data up to 8 times per day. So pretty much every business hour, 8 times per day, you can do that. If you upgrade to premium per user, then I think it opens to 48 times, so every half an hour. If you want to refresh 2 times per day, of course, basic license, Power BI Pro license would be sufficient.
Great. We've got a question here. So is it possible to create a consolidated P&L? So the example is we've got 6 holiday parks in one company. We've got 6 holiday parks in a different company. Noting there are other dimensions in these companies, can we get a consolidated P&L?
Absolutely. So there are a few prerequisites, and that's all in your, let's say, control in your setup. So what will be the first one would be that the account categories and your GL account structure should be the same in both companies, so that you can compare apples to apples, right? And then out of the box, you'll be able to consolidate that across both companies. And of course, another prerequisite will be that park or marina or whatever dimension you're analyzing by should be the same in both. So if you have, let's say, park dimension 1, in other companies should be also dimension 1 to compare 1 to 1. Yeah, but that's available out of the box. Yeah.
Smashing, that's grand. That is our last question there for today. So thank you very much to everyone that's taken the time to join us. It was really, really insightful, really exciting solution, I think, there, especially for me that's not a finance person. I could definitely see the benefits of being able to digest that information in a more cohesive way. So we'll just take a quick look at our future webcast just before we finish up. If you do want to join us on 26th of March in 2 weeks' time at 11 a.m. GMT, we're going to be joined by Rentals United. They are our integrations partner who'll be able to connect you with the likes of Airbnb, Booking.com, and many other OTAs to maximize your exposure and improve those revenue opportunities. Before we move into April, we're joined by the lovely Lisa, and we're going to be looking at yield. We're going to be looking at all the ways that elite parks and elite marinas can generate you more revenue opportunities. So we're going to be looking across the board to see what's available. Thank you once again to everybody. Thank you to yourself, Dejan and Michael, for joining us. Really, really appreciate your time and for taking part, and for Lisa. And thank you. And we will see you all again very soon.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.